You? Is anybody?
There she is. That's Molly Goldberg, folks. A woman with a place in every heart and a finger in every pie. And now the makers of New Does. That new kind of soap for everything right down your wash line bring you another visit with those good folks, the Goldbergs.
The Sunny Hill Ladies' Aid Society.
Say, what is this, a delegation?
Yes, we want you to give a speech at our next meeting.
What? Me speak before a whole bunch of ladies?
Well, why not? You talk on the radio every day.
Oh, that's different. I just stand by the microphone and talk about Does.
Well, it's Does we want you to talk about.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so? Of course, I'll be glad to talk about this wonderful new soap.
Fine. But first, we'd like to give you a few pointers.
You see, some of the ladies are terribly old-fashioned about their laundry soap.
Oh?
Why, take that fussy Mrs. Jones. She just wouldn't believe me when I said this new does all three kinds of wash, like work shirts and towels, right down to pretty rayon slip.
But didn't you tell her Does is Procter & Gamble's new kind of granulated soap? It's a new soap discovery.
My, be sure to put that in your speech.
And when you tell how Does get the towels so white, you might glance over at that snooty Mrs. Smith.
Oh, why Mrs. Smith?
She said she didn't see how Does could be so safe for her nicer colored washables and still get towels white, too.
Oh, she did she? Well, Does will show her how really white her towels can be. Why, she's never used a soap that gets clothes whiter than Does, and yet this same Does is extra safe for her pretty rayons and colored washables. In fact, with Does, their colors stay bright far longer than with any of the four other leading granulated soaps. And that's important now in wartime when you want such clothes to last longer.
And if she asks about the work shirt...
I'll just tell her the facts. Does gets them wonderfully clean. And there's no hard scrubbing and no boiling to do. Why, no soap made gets clothes clean easier than Does. In fact, I'll ask every lady listening to try new Does for herself. I'll say, just ask for Does, D-U-Z, today. And next wash day, let Does do everything. And now the Goldbergs. Each day has shown more strongly that the girl Uncle David brought into the Goldberg house is the center of trouble. Emma, despite her smiling ways and engaging helplessness, is the stormy petrel of too many lives. And as Sammy Goldberg became more involved with her, as he hid it from his family, and as his friend tried to help him, it became obvious that there was only one thing to do. Clear the decks and clear them completely. And so David has asked Sammy to tell Emma to leave. But can it be done? Can Sammy ask it? Things are boiling. Listen.
Sammy, listen to Uncle David.
All right, Uncle David, I'm listening.
If Emma goes away, Sammy, she'll be out of your sight and she'll be out of your mind. I was young too, Samuel. Who that is young enough to remember their youth ever forgets such things? These are the experiences that men are made of. Sammy, first Rosie has to be told by you in front of Emma, so that Rosie will believe what she hears, that it's you, not Mikey, that Emma...
Yeah, all right, Uncle David.
Let me help you, Sammy.
I'm looking all over this written note for you.
We're here.
You don't have to find corners to talk in, David. And you not need a family. I know the motive of the conversation, and I made a decision.
Sammy.
David, I made a decision. Why should I walk around without a head? Why should Rosalie be beside herself? And you, Sammy? Since this started with Emma and Mikey, you're also not...
Ma, let Mama talk.
I'm talking. Yes, I'm talking, and not nonsense, David.
Who said
But
that?
Ma...
Let Mama talk, Sammy. She's not talking nonsense.
I'm not talking nonsense.
She's not talking nonsense.
Not nonsense. Not nonsense, Emily. First of all, I have no objections, even if it was my own son. Emma's nice. Very nice. Because Emma is here working for me, it could be also that Rosalie was alone in the world and she would have to work for somebody like Emma is working for me. So as far as Emma, I like Emma. I like Emma very much. And if Mikey, well, why not? Rosalie is young. And that's besides the point. That's besides the point. If it had been otherwise and it was Mikey and Rosalie, all right, I would have been very pleased. I would have been very pleased. All right, no harm. But if it's Emma, only one contention. I want to write to Mikey's mother. I must write to Mrs. Bloom. She's my friend, my very best friend, my loveliest friend, my dearest friend. And if Mikey, I don't want to be the advisor. His mother should know, and I'm going to write to her. And that's all.
Why do you
I'm not interfering, Sammy. I'm corresponding.
Ma, all right, Sammy. If Mama wants to write, let her write to Mikey's mother.
I am, and immediately, nevertheless.
Ma.
Yes, Ma.
No.
Where are you going?
Upstairs.
Not to the mill.
No.
You see, David, how my whole family is upside down, topsy-turvy, turvy-topsy. I'll take it, David.
All right. All right.
Hello? Yes? Oh, yes.
Who
It's
is
Mary
it?
Foote. It's
Oh,
Mary Foote.
Mary.
We'll know something now. Why Bruce didn't call again. Hello? Yes, Mary. Yeah. Well, you spoke to Bruce? Uh-huh. Well, the only reason I asked you to speak to Bruce, darling, was because if Bruce Hanley took Emma for a little ride just around a couple minutes, but they was out the whole evening, so that's why I wanted you to speak to Bruce Hanley. Yeah. You did spoke to him?
What?
Yeah.
What did she say?
Shh. Yeah.
What? Yeah?
Shh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, if it's not to be, then all the king's horses and all the king's men. You know the saying, Mary. All right, dear. All right. Bye. No? You see, David? You see, Emma told Bruce Hanley that she's in love with somebody else.
Did she say who?
Did she have to say who? Well, now I have to write to Mikey's mother. She must be notified. I'm going to speak to him also. Well, why shouldn't Mrs. Bloom be here? I want her presence. I don't want the full responsibility. I don't want the full responsibility, David. You have a fountain pen, David? No?
Yes.
All right. So may I, will you, please?
Yes.
Push the tablecloth, please. I'll get my paper.
All right.
So, I'll take this chair. Thank you. Thank you. It's all right. I can write here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let me see now. So what should I write?
To start, you have to write, Dear Mrs. Bloom.
I mean beyond the Dear Mrs. Bloom. Beyond the Dear Mrs. Bloom. I'll say, David, dear, I think I'll say, dear friend, I'm writing to you for advice. If I should advise you or not, I think I should. All right, David.
Yeah, why not?
All right. All right. I think, what's the matter with the pen?
No, they have ink.
All right. All right. I think I should advise you. How do you spell advise? With a Z?
Advice?
Z.
With an A.
A, I know. A-D-V-I.
Advice? With a Z. With a Z, advice, yeah. With a Z.
Z, I think Z.
Z, yeah.
Yeah, well, she'll know. If it's wrong, she'll know. Let me see. And, let me see further. Maybe if everything is well and you live can come to Glastonbury. If not, you can come the following week. All right, David?
Oh, why not?
I wouldn't mention names, huh, David?
What name?
Emma. Oh, rather late?
What are you writing, Ma?
Nothing.
Nothing, Rosalie.
It's a good writing paper, Ma. Who are you writing to?
I'm just asking Mrs. Bloom to sojourn here a little.
Why, Ma?
Why not?
I don't want anybody to help, Ma. I don't want any help. There's nothing to help.
All right, Rosalie, I wouldn't write.
I don't want anyone to speak to her. Please, Ma.
All right, Rosalie, please. All right. All right, look. All right, so I'm tearing it up.
I'll tear it.
I'm tearing it up. Not
What's the matter? What's wrong?
I just thought I would write maybe to Mrs. Bloom.
I don't want anyone to speak to Mikey. I don't want anyone to say anything. It's not for anyone to say anything except him. He knows what he wants. He knows what he feels.
All right, Rosie, stop crying,
You mustn't
please.
say anything.
Gee.
All right, Rosalie. All right. Come upstairs and straighten yourself out.
Please, Mama, darling, please don't say anything.
I wouldn't say.
Please don't
All
do
right,
anything.
I wouldn't say and I wouldn't do. What you want me to say, I'll say. And what you want me to do, I'll do.
Uncle David, this has got to end.
You, Samuel, you have to begin the end.
All right. I'll tell Emma to leave.
You decided?
Yes. But where will she go?
You just tell her to leave, Samuel. This time, I'll know where she should go.
But telling Emma to leave, even if it's for her good and Sammy's, isn't going to be the kind of good thing she wants. You know, it's a shame to spend your good money on soaps that do only a halfway job for dishes. Yes, if you're using one of those tough granulated soaps, it only goes halfway because it's short on kindness to your hands. Or if you use a bar soap, it doesn't have real speed. So I say it's time you discovered new Does, that amazing new kind of granulated soap. Does everything in your wash, and believe me, it has everything you want for dishes, too. From whirlwind speed to greater kindness to your hands. Yes, that's where new Does is so different from the 4 other leading granulated soaps. It's so much kinder to your hands. Just notice how wonderfully smooth and soft your hands feel after doing dishes with Does. Yet no soap made can beat Does for speedy dishwashing. It cuts even tough grease without any hard scouring. So bring your dishwashing up to date. Do 'em with new Does. And let those whirlwind suds show you Does has everything for dishes. Be sure to listen to the next episode of The Goldbergs. Tomorrow, both boys start talking, and Rosie listens. This is Clayton Collier wishing you good day for Procter & Gamble, makers of Does, the new kind of